Hello and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Roxy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Roxy's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and motivations that we give the dogs while we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction if needed. And the correction that we give is a tug and release on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You'll notice that Fred keeps that collar high up on her neck, right behind her ears, for the most control while working with her. You'll also notice that Roxy is sitting very nicely on Fred's left-hand side, and that's where all of our obedience training takes place. The first command that they're going to demonstrate is heeling, and heeling is proper walking on a leash. The command that you're going to give is Roxy heel. You're just going to simply start walking, and she should fall in line heeling appropriately on your left-hand side. She should not be lagging behind on that leash, nor lunging ahead and pulling, but keeping pace with you. We've also gone ahead and incorporated an automatic sit into the heeling exercise, which means anytime that you stop moving your feet, Roxy is to sit nicely right there at your left heel position. And she's to remain seated until given another command or praise. The next command they're going to demonstrate is the stay command. Use the open flat of your left palm in front of her muzzle and the one-word command to stay. Roxy should remain seated in this position and should not break the entire time. Now Fred returns back by walking all the way around, returning back to heel position. On the left-hand side, she sits nicely. Great job. When you're practicing your long sit stay at home, you're going to start out at about 30 seconds, and upon her continued success, you'll increase your intervals, working up to a total of 3 minutes for your long sit stay. And then instead of returning back to heel position this time, they're going to demonstrate the recall or the come on command. Roxy comes in and sits nicely. Good girl. And around the back of you to your left hand side, sitting nicely, waiting for her next command. And they'll go ahead and demonstrate that again. Comes in, sits. Great job. And around the back. Good girl. When working Roxy through her commands, if she does not complete them appropriately, or if she displays an inappropriate behavior, first words out of your mouth are no, followed by a tug and release on that training collar, and you repeat the command. The next command they're going to demonstrate is the down from a heel position. Use the open flat of your left palm straight down towards the ground. One word command to down. And give that stay command before you walk out to the end of your leash. And of course, with the down stay, she should remain laying down. You want to make sure that you're practicing this command frequently to help build up her self-control and maturity skills to enable her to down stay for longer periods of time. And again, start at about 30 seconds and increase your intervals upon her success, working up to 5 minutes. Fred returns back, again walking all the way around back to heel position like you did in a sit stay. Great job. You want to make sure that when you're working Roxy through her commands and she's completing them for you appropriately, you let her know so by using lots of positive reinforcement. Make it fun and motivating for her to complete her commands. Down stay. And then instead of returning back, we'll demonstrate the recall from the down position. She gets up and comes in this time. Good girl. And back to heel position. Although you're going to be incorporating your commands into your everyday life, we do recommend that you set aside about 10 to 15 minutes to work Roxy through her commands in a formal obedience training session such as this video here. You can throw the video on and follow along if you would like as well. It's great practice for the both of you and will help with the transition back into the house with the new commands. Now they're going to demonstrate this distance down, leave Roxy in a sit stay, walk out to the end of the leash, and from the end of the leash, use your right hand to give the down command where she should drop into the down right where she was sitting. Very nicely done. Good girl. can see she's wagging her tail, so she's enjoying it, keeping her motivated. So now what Fred is demonstrating for you is the next step into our off-leash training. It's the intermediate stage here where he just drops the leash. He doesn't completely remove it, and he only increases his distance between himself and Roxy by a little bit. This is something that you will be able to work up to in the future, but at first you want to make sure that she's completing all of her commands for you with her leash and collar. We've demonstrated for you today all the obedience commands that Roxy has learned here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Roxy. We ask that you keep us posted on her progress on her return home, and thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.